Name the essential items that you can't go without on a Lunar New Year vacation or any other trip or outing. Let me try to list the items that are popping up in your head. A speaker? Definitely. Some chill music to play in a faraway place or songs that bring the atmosphere of spring? Music is what brings people closer together, and a speaker is the perfect tool to spread it. Another item. When it comes to this, you will surely agree with me. A deck of cards, the best time killer, the thing that brings the most joy, the thing that brings people closer together, or sometimes the source of conflict that no one wants. Not only during Lunar New Year or travel, playing cards have entered every corner of our lives, to the point that every family will have a deck of cards at home for various purposes. But few people know the origin of playing cards, why it has 52 cards, or how the suits of spades, hearts, diamonds, and clubs mean. Let's find out all of that through the latest video on Exploring the Mysteries channel about the origin and things you didn't know about cards. According to many sources, the first deck of cards appeared in China from the 9th century during the Tang dynasty. They were made of paper and popular among the nobility, royal family. The game was brought to Western countries by merchants. Playing cards were recorded to be used by Europeans in the form of the modern deck of cards from 1418. In the 13th and 14th centuries, playing cards truly flourished and became an industry. It was developed to serve different classes, including the nobility. This industry even knew how to suck money out of the wealthy class by printing beautiful and expensive images of kings, queens, or princes on the cards. At first, only the nobility had access to playing cards. Many opinions suggest that it was because King Charles VI was so fond of playing cards that he wanted to keep the privilege for the upper class. It wasn't until 4 centuries later that the common people could enjoy this entertainment. That was also the time when playing cards spread strongly and were used everywhere in the world. Playing cards not only have the meaning of a recreational item, but they are also used as a tool for fortune-telling, especially in Western countries. These card readings are still popular today. Have you ever wondered why a deck of cards has 52 cards, 13 ranks, and 4 suits? Did the creator just like the number 52 and decided to use it? Not at all. Everything is based on meaning, and the chosen numbers are not random. The rules of playing cards are based on the laws of time cycle. If you notice, the suits in the deck are divided into 2 red and black sections, which are symbols of day and night. According to the usual point system, the ace card counts as 1 point and the king card counts as 13 points. When we add up the total points of all the cards, we get the number 364. Adding a joker card, we get 365 points, corresponding to the exact number of days in a year. Later, another joker card was added with contrasting color, making 365 points become 366 points, corresponding to the number of days in leap years. 52 cards represent the number of weeks in a year. Why do playing cards range from 1 to 13? It can be understood that the 13 cards represent the 13 phases of the moon. The deck of cards in the West is not just an ordinary solar calendar, but it also hides the lunar calendar. Regarding the suits of the cards, the 4 suits represent the 4 seasons of the year: spring, summer, fall, and winter. In the 5 elements theory, the 4 suits are associated with the 4 elements including water, fire, earth, and air. Additionally, the suits of these cards are closely related to divination, with each suit representing different meanings. The suit hearts represents water and symbolizes the power of the subconscious. It embodies femininity and represents healing. The suit of diamonds represents the element of earth, symbolizing shielding, strength, endurance, and abundance. It also represents wealth and divination. In Western culture, the diamond symbol is reminiscent of the tiles on the roof of the upper class. The suit of clubs represents the image of the wand, fire, willpower, and versatility. However, be careful when drawing the ace of clubs, as it represents the law of cause and effect, and repayment in life. Those who draw this card may have a lot of money, but it is not theirs, it belongs to someone else. The suit of spades represents the sword, the power of the heart, and the complete opposite of the heart suit. The spade suit represents men, but in divination, it represents negative things and obstacles. If you draw the two of spades, it means you are hurt because you put too much trust in someone, while in return, you do not receive what you deserve. One of the most interesting things about the deck of cards lies in the court cards, which are based on real historical figures such as kings, princes, and powerful aides to the king. Let's start with the most famous card with the most conspiracy theories, the K of Hearts. The K of Hearts based on the image of Emperor Charlemagne, 742,814. He contributed to the development of the Roman Empire and ruled over a vast area in Europe. However, what is portrayed on this card is controversial. There are many hypotheses surrounding this card, and some historians believe that the K of Hearts is not the Emperor Charlemagne, but rather Ajax the Great, a hero of Greek history. On the other hand, the Q of Hearts is Helen, who created the Trojan War. Ajax fell in love with Helen but was rejected, causing him so much pain that he committed suicide. Another theory is that the K of Hearts represents King Charles VII of France, a king with a severe mental illness. He lived in constant fear and eventually took his own life due to delusions that those around him would assassinate him. Or, in this card, there is no king who committed suicide. Instead, he was assassinated by someone else. If you pay close attention, the king's two hands are placed on his coat, while the other hand of the attacker, who has a completely different pattern on their hand, is holding a sword behind the king's back. Until now, all of these are just hypotheses. The K of Diamonds is represented by Gaius Caesar, a reckless military strategist who had a huge influence on the Roman Empire. Caesar played an important role in the rise of the Roman Empire, conquered Rome, and created a social revolution. However, the great Emperor Caesar was assassinated, which was the beginning of the downfall of the Roman Republic. The K of Diamonds is unique because it is the only card with a king's image tilted. The image of this king on the ancient Roman coin was also tilted, so the creators of the deck of cards reproduced this through the card. The king appears on the K of Clubs, representing another great emperor in human history, Alexander the Great, the king of the world, a liberator, and the hegemon of the Greek alliance. Throughout his life, he conquered virtually the entire world known to Europeans of his time before he passed away. Thus, he is often regarded as one of the most successful generals and greatest military strategists in human history. The K of Spade represents King David, the famous king of the United Kingdom of Israel. In addition to his military command and leadership of the nation, David was also skilled at playing the harp, so his depictions often include the image of a harp. If the K cards represent kings, then the 4 Q cards represent famous queens in history. For instance, the Q of Hearts depicts Queen Judith, who was the sister-in-law of King Alfred the Great. With her beauty and wit, she assassinated Holofernes to save the people of Bethulia. The Q of Diamonds represents Queen Rachel, the second wife of the patriarch Jacob, who is described in the Bible as the third patriarch of the Israelites, with whom God made a covenant. Today, the tomb of Queen Rachel is located between the cities of Jerusalem and Bethlehem in the West Bank, on the border between Israel and Palestine. The Q of Clubs represents Queen Argene, and many notable details about her story are depicted on the card. In it, Queen Argene holds a rose, reminiscent of the War of the Roses among the English nobility. The House of Lancaster used the red rose as its emblem, while the House of York used the white rose. Eventually, the two houses reconciled and formed the Tudor dynasty, with the emblem of the two roses. Lastly, the Q of Spade represents Queen Eleanor, one of the most powerful and wealthy women in Western Europe during the High Middle Ages. She became the Queen of France from 1137 to 1152 and later the Queen of England. Next are the Jack cards, representing brave princes and valiant military leaders. The Jack of Hearts represents La Hire, who was a close ally of King Charles VII of France and later became the right-hand man of Joan of Arc. Meanwhile, the Jack of Diamonds depicts Prince Hector, the hero of Troy, who sacrificed himself in a duel with Achilles. He was praised for his bravery and noble character. The Jack of Clubs is also a familiar card with the face of Sir Lancelot, one of the greatest knights of King Arthur's Round Table in legend. Later, Sir Lancelot tried to resist the rebellion of Mordred but could not save King Arthur. Lastly, the Jack of Spades represents General Wallenstein, who fought under Roman Emperor Ferdinand II. He was the most influential figure in the 30 Years' War between 1618 and 1648. The cards deck may seem simple at first glance, but behind it lies the significance of each card. These are secrets that you may have heard of, but perhaps have never heard in detail. Over centuries of development and evolution, we have come to know many uses of the cards deck as we do now. Do you have any other interesting facts about the cards deck? Leave your comments below and subscribe to the channel for more informative updates. Thank you and see you again.